Welcome back, everybody, to Everyday A&P. We're going to continue talking about the membrane. But before we get started, I really want to request, I'd appreciate it if everyone watching could like and subscribe to this channel as we continue to grow and help those who need the necessary resource. So we want to talk about membrane transport today. In the previous video, we discussed the phospholipid in itself, which is composed and makes up the phospholipid bilayer. So today we want to talk a little bit more about the role of the membrane that it plays within the eukaryotic cell. So we're going to be talking about membrane transport. Now, to get started, there's two specific categories of membrane transport that we would find, right? The first is passive transport. And the other is going to be active transport. Now, what is passive transport? What is active transport? What is going on? Well, let's go ahead and dive right into that. So when we talk about passive, right, passive transport, we'll put passive on this side. And we'll put active right here. In passive transport, we have two specific types of passive transport. First one, right, we have diffusion, right? We have diffusion. And the second type that we have is called facilitated diffusion, right? It's going to be facilitated. Facilitated diffusion. And on the active transport, right, we just have one specific type. That's it. We don't need to, there's no other subcategory that we need to discuss. So when we talk about diffusion, right, we're talking about a gradient. There's a gradient that is in play, right? That's the biggest thing that we want to talk about when it comes to diffusion. Right, where we have, it's supposed to be a G, there we go, a gradient. Now, what is a gradient? What does it mean? What is this going to entail? Well, when we look at the cell membrane, we have right here, let me get my highlighter out, we have more molecules on this side than on this side. So we can assume that this is the outside of the cell membrane and this is going to be the inside of the cell membrane. So what this gradient is that we go from a high concentration of particles to a low concentration of particles. So a gradient is going to be high to low. All right. And in terms of passive transport, and we talk about diffusion, it's going to be molecules that are going from high concentration to low concentration. We have a concentration gradient. In the next type of diffusion, the facilitated diffusion, we can see that we have some type of protein, right? These guys right here, these pinkish, purple, these guys are proteins. All right, they're channel proteins. And what they do is they help facilitate the diffusion, right? They help facilitate the type of diffusion that we are going to have. It's still passive diffusion, but it gives a type of channel. It gives a type of roadway for these molecules to go from, again, a concentration of high to low. We still have the exact same thing that we are going to be talking about. Concentration goes from high to low. Then, when we go a little bit over to the right side now, we have active transport. Now, what is active transport? This is going to be a reverse. It's going to be reversed. Instead of a high to low gradient, we're going to be going from a low to high concentration gradient. And this itself is going to require energy. otherwise known as ATP, right? Adenosine triphosphate. ATP is going to help move these molecules that from a low concentration gradient to high concentration gradient. We're going in the opposite direction. And we're going to see a lot of this when we talk about the electron transport chain, especially when we talk about the citric acid cycle and energy production within the mitochondria. So that's just a little bit of an overview I wanted to cover in terms of membrane transport with active and passive transport. Passive transport does not require energy. Let's go ahead and write that down here. Let's actually, no energy. And active transport needs energy, and energy in the form of ATP. So always remember that there is a concentration gradient that we're talking about when we discuss these membrane transports. We have molecules, substances that are going from a concentration of a high concentration to a low concentration, and that's going to be in terms of passive transport when we talk about diffusion. And in active transport, it's going to be the opposite, where we're going from low concentration gradient to high concentration gradient. And because we're going in the opposite direction, we need a little bit of a boost, we need a little bit of an energy, we need a little more energy, and that's why we're going to be using ATP to help power this phenomenon. So that is membrane transport as an overview. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please continue liking, subscribing, sharing these, and we're here to help you guys out. So we'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy, keep learning, stay curious. Take care, everybody.